Hello, thank you everyone for coming today. Thank you everyone joining us online to the official Sony users response video. And we've heard you, it's scary times out there with the Canon R5C getting released. And we've got a list here of official responses that we think you should make videos about, especially before the camera's out there in the wild. So it's really important to get these videos rushed out there before anyone else can actually see or test the camera. A couple of points we think you should focus on that we really think are deal breakers, such as there's no top handle. I haven't seen one. I don't think you've seen one because it doesn't come with one. So we reckon just focus on that big time. That's a big thing. No top handle. You know, it's not like someone could buy one and put one on. It just doesn't have a top handle. Another deal breaker, IBIS. It doesn't have it. Well, it does, but it doesn't have the IBIS we have, and that's important. Don't look at the fact that some people don't use it, and don't look at the fact that there's techniques such as gimbals, dollies, tripods, lots of tested and tried filmmaking techniques out there that also work, opposed to just holding your camera and running around and wanting it to be locked on. Just ignore that. Also ignore the fact that IBIS isn't perfect and it sometimes ruins shots. Just really focus on the fact that it doesn't have it. We really think that's a good move to do. Some other things we think that are important, it's $1,000 more. It just costs more. Sure, you get double the specs and the codecs and you get an R5 attached. So just ignore that part about the 45 megapixel sensor and the really good stills ability. Ignore that. Just focus on the fact that, hey, look, it's $1,000 more. Yes, we know it's a really good stills camera as well, and it can do higher quality. Just ignore that. Just focus on the fact that you got to pay more money for it. And in response to some of the things that we've seen online, we've got a list of them here, such as that the Canon R5C has false color, true waveforms, time code, anamorphic modes, internal raw recording, so forth and so on. Our main response to this is we think the histogram's making a comeback for video. We really do. We think you're going to see it on more cameras now, and it is the future. So really push everyone towards the histogram because really everyone's loved it, is what I've heard. So let's really double down on that. And that's our official response for the Sony Users Association. So make sure you get your videos out there before anyone can really test the camera. And really the race is on. Peter McKinnon's, he's back. He's going to be posting something probably. So the race is on. So let's make sure we justify our purchases, even though we may have waited. Let's justify for everyone, shall we? Let's do that. And yeah, we will have no more further responses, and we will probably release a camera soon that will probably still shoot 4K. Sorry? No, yeah, that's literally the official statement. That's all we got. Yeah, it's not great. Just imagine if you bought the Nikon Z9 for video. Yes, oh dear, I just called some Sony users out, and maybe even a Nikon user as well, if they exist. I don't know. But yes, the Canon R5C is a pretty ridiculous camera. It has literally a professional stills camera and a professional video camera all in one, which is probably the first true hybrid we've seen in this market. I know we've said there's a lot of hybrid cameras. My Canon R6 is a hybrid camera, but nothing is like true hybrid as this. And as a result, I've just seen a lot of Sony users out there throwing a little bit of shade and trying to seemingly justify their FX3 Sony A7S purchase, even though they haven't even used the camera and not many people have seen creators using it. So I just thought, maybe just call a spade a spade. Don't hate me. Don't hate me. People hating on this Canon R5C, which is an 8K Power Beast camera, is a bit odd to me because if you actually think about it, this camera is literally better in every way than a Sony camera or current Canon cameras. Like, if you look at a resolution factor, it's better. If you look at features reasons, it's better. If you look at codec reasons, it's better. And people just keep bringing up weird things, such as they're like,
it only does 10-bit.
It actually does RAW, which is 12-bit, which is, last time I checked, better than 10-bit. And people also then bring up again,
oh, it doesn't have Canon Log 2.
Giving the Canon R5C Canon Log 2 doesn't make a lot of sense because if you think about it, it's the same sensor as the Canon R5. So you're not going to get more dynamic range just because you have Canon Log 2. And I think this all started from the A7 III era when people were shooting in 8-bit but using S-Log 2, which is like super flat, and thinking that's a really good idea. Newsflash, it's not a really good idea. Because the dynamic range is not there and you're in 8-bit video and it just doesn't grade well. I just feel that this camera is roughly $1,000 more and it's better in every way. Like if you look at it, if you think 4K is good, what's better? Naturally more resolution. 8K. If you think 10-bit is good, what's naturally better? 12-bit RAW, which it has. What's better than really bad exposure tools? Proper video exposure tools. This camera comes with so many things, and sure, there's some little features which IBIS isn't in it, and I think people are more upset because the Canon R5 had IBIS and now it doesn't have IBIS. And let's be real, the Canon IBIS kind of sucked. In a wide lens, nobody wanted to use it and move with that camera because it was shaky as anything. It had that wobble effect. It looked like a bad tracking was going on, and maybe this digital is better. I don't know. I don't have the camera, so I can't tell you. But neither can you, because you don't have the camera either. So for a lot of content creators, this currently is the first true hybrid camera out there. I'm sorry, that Sony a7S III is not a hybrid camera. It's got a 12 megapixel sensor. That's the same as my iPhone, except I can attach a lens to it. It's not that great. It's not a true hybrid camera. Sure, it might work in some circumstances, but you're not getting professional clients and getting paid for it. Whereas if you want to dabble into both, which a lot of us have to do right now, the Canon R5C is the first true hybrid out there, and people that try and tell you having two bodies is a good thing, it just sounds like everyone's justifying their purchases. To be honest, I'm gonna say, if this camera came out originally, I would have bought it, and it hasn't, and I might still consider it. It's actually tempting me. I haven't bought the Canon C70. I just hire that when I need it. But this camera is actually tempting me because I'm like, oh wait, I only need one camera now in my camera bag, because I think the smaller we can go, the more compact we can go, the better it is as a content creator. Now, professional shoots and everything, that's all different. But still, if you own your own gear and you just want one camera that genuinely does it all, this camera currently on paper is it. So I think we just all need to stop trying to justify our purchases. Every camera's good. Our boy Matty always says it, although he did just buy the FX3 and I think he probably slightly regrets it because he also has so much Canon lenses. And you know, Matty, let me know in the comments. You probably won't, but let me know in the comments if you regret it. We'll see what happens. You'll probably get your hands on one and I'll be very interested to see what that looks like. But until then, let's all just be happy with what we got, hey? Or don't, because I get to make funny videos. So let me know in the comments below what you think about the Canon R5C and the landscape of cameras right now and people's opinions. Let me know. I'll definitely respond and be in the chat with you all. And if you've been checking out this charging wall behind me, I have a whole video on it right here that shows you how to make your own and how I went on my journey to create my own one at the start of the year, because I think chargers are really hard to take care of, and you should sort your chargers out too in 2022. Otherwise, like, subscribe. I'll see you guys next week. Peace.